In this video, we are going to be exploring some problems with exponents and logarithms. In this first section, we're going to try to take some logarithmic equations and rewrite them in exponential form. So just thinking this through, remembering that to say that the log base A of B equals C means that A to the C equals B. So now let's look at the 5 logarithmic equations that we have here, and let's try to rewrite them in exponential form. So first, log base 4 of 16 equals 2. That means that 4 to the second power of 4 squared equals 16. Log base 3 to the 0, log base 3 of 1 equals 0. So that means that 3 to the 0 equals 1, which we know to be true. Log base 2 of 4 equals 2. That means 2 to the second power, or squared, equals 4. Log base 2 of 16 equals 4. That means 2 to the 4 equals 16. Log base 3 of 81 equals 4. That means that 3 to the 4th power equals 81. Okay, let's try a few more. Log base 2 of 1 over 8 equals minus 3. That means that 2 to the minus 3 equals 1 over 8, which is the same thing as saying that 1 over 2 to the 3 equals 1 over 8, which is obviously true. Log base 8 of 2 equals 1/3. That's the same thing as saying that 8 to the 1/3 power equals 2, which is the same thing as saying that the cube root of 8 equals 2. The natural logarithm of 7, natural logarithm is just like saying log to the base e. So the natural logarithm of 7 equals x means that e to the x equals 7. The natural logarithm of x minus 1 equals 12 means that e to the 12 equals x minus 1. Finally, the natural logarithm of base 9 of 3 means that equals 1/2, means that 9 to the 1/2 power equals 3, which is the same thing as saying the square root of 9 equals 3. All right, now let's try taking some exponential formulas and rewriting them in terms of logarithms. So we'll start with 4 cubed equals 64. And another way of saying that is that log base 4 of 64 equals 3. Now, 10 to the minus 1 power equals 0.1. Another way of saying that is that log base 10 of 0.1 equals minus 1. 10 to the 4th equals 10,000. It's the same thing as saying that log base 10 of 10,000 equals 4. 36 to the 1/2 power equals 6 is the same thing as saying that log base 36 of 6 equals 1/2. 4 to the minus 1 power equals 1/4 is the same thing as saying log base 4 of 1/4 equals -1. And finally, 4 to the minus 2 power equals 1/16 is the same thing as saying log base 4 of 1/16 equals -2. Now we're going to check our answers to these logarithmic equations with the TI-NSpire app. And so we're going to create a new document and add a calculator to that document. And now we'll begin to look at the answers to the equations that we wrote. We will first look at log base 4 of 64 and be sure it in fact equals 3, and it does. Then we will look at log base 10 of 0.1, and we see that it does indeed equal -1. Then we will look at log base 10 of 10,000 and see that it does indeed equal 4. Then we will look at log base 36 of 6 and see that it does equal 1/2. Then we will look at log base 4 of 1/4 and see that it does in fact equal -1. Then finally we'll look at log base 4 of 1/16 and see it does in fact equal -2. Now we'll do just a few more problems. Log base 3 of 3 equals what? Well, the question being asked is 3 to what power equals 3? And the answer to that is 1. 3 raised to the power of 1 equals 3. The next, log base 3 of 1 equals what? That question is 3 to what power equals 1? And the answer to that is 0. 3 to the 0 power equals 1. The next question, log base 6 of 1/6 equals what? So 6 to what power equals 1/6? And the answer to that is -1, because 6 to the -1 is the same as 1/6 to the 1, which is 1/6. The next one, log base 6 of the square root of 6 equals what? The question is 6 to what power equals the square root of 6? And that answer is 1/2. 6 to the 1/2 power equals the square root of 6. The next question, log base 3 of 1/27 equals what? That question is asking 3 raised to what power equals 1/27? And the answer to that is -3, because 3 to the -3 is the same thing as 1/3 to the third power, 1/3 cubed, and that's 1/27. Finally, log base 9 to this of square root of 3 equals what? And the answer to that is going to be 1/4, because the fourth root of 9 equals the square root of 3, because 9 equals 3 squared. Finally, we're going to check these answers in the TI-NSpire CAS calculator app. So go back to our Documents tab that has our calculator in it, and we will ask these questions. The log base 3 of 3 equals what? And we see it equals 1. The log base 3 of 1 equals what? And we see it equals 0. The log base 6 of 1/6 equals what? And we see that equals -1. The log base 6 of the square root of 6 equals what? And we see that that equals 1/2. Now the log base 3 of 1/27 equals what? log base 3 of 1 over 27 equals what? And we see that that equals minus 3. And finally, log base 9 of the square root of 3 equals what? Log base 9 of the square root of 3 is going to equal 1/4, as we said. We thank you very much for watching this video. We hope to see you again soon.